Hey, shalom, shalom. As always, I want to start off these videos by giving all glory, honor, and thanks to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, for this wisdom and knowledge, as well as a respectful double honors upon to the elder apostles and the elders of GMS, Great Millstone, whom I've learned this truth under and continue to learn this truth under. I'm the brother Eli Yahweh, Lord willing this be edifying, a quick hit titled, something to the sort of division and uproars. And here we go, another clear telltale sign. And as you see with the watermark in the bottom, I pulled this off Reddit. This actually happens to be in the city I grew up in within Massachusetts. Okay, this is right outside of the Boston and Providence metro areas, the town I grew up directly in for most of my youth. And it says, "Free America walkout. Walk out of work, school, and no spending, January 20th, which is today, Tuesday, 2026, at 2 p.m. 3.5% is all it takes for change." And and 2 p.m. seems a little late to walk out of school, but nonetheless, the people are that spirit of division, that spirit of uproars, the spirit of sedition is increasing. You would never see no shit like this of a planned, staged walkout. We not going to work. We removing our children from school, and we not going to spend no money because we don't like what the government policies, the government powers that be. We don't like how they moving. Okay, so this place is circling the drain. The scripture said the Lord. Let's actually, matter of fact, start with this. This is going to be Luke, the 11th chapter, verse 17, and Yahweh Shai speaking in red. "But he, knowing their thoughts, said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and a house divided against a house falleth." And is symbolic. The scriptures say that the Lord gave Esau, Edom, you Edomites, the so-called self-proclaimed WHITEs who are currently in power, abounds that you can't pass. And is symbolic that the 200, this summer is going to be the 250th birthday of the United States. And it don't look like it's going to make another 30, 40 years, never mind a whole 250 years. This place is spinning rapidly. It's circling the drain. And that's all culminating with a spirit of division, these Americans against Americans, a spirit of degeneracy, a spirit of a lack of patriotism. This is all the signs of a collapsing kingdom. Never mind the infrastructure, the military being stretched too thin. America is falling like ancient Rome. This being the second leg of the Roman Empire, it's collapsing just like ancient Rome. And we know is all going to culminate in this third woe, World War III, which is going to highlight the end of Esau's world. 2nd Ezra 6 verse 9 speaks on Esau being the end of the world, Jacob being the beginning that followed. Jacob being representing the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, the true children of Israel. But this place has been a house of bondage for the Israelites. And the Lord, just like ancient Egypt, is plaguing modern day Egypt. And we've seen that with the spirit of sedition, a spirit of division out here. This is the book of Isaiah 19. We'll start at the top. The burden of Egypt, and this word, the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, is a burden upon modern day Egypt. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. We'll just jump down to verse 4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, said the Lord of hosts. And we, starting with our elder apostles and on down, we believe through the Spirit that to be Donald Trump. Okay, we believe he's that cruel Lord spoken in Isaiah 19, verse 4. And ever since this man got back into office, he done turned the dial up 1,000 degrees. It's nothing but you know, militarized police and increased division out here, and nothing but wars and rumors of wars, war talk. That's what's happening. And in verse 2, Egyptians against Egyptians. And it says, everyone shall fight against his brother. And it also speaks on city against city, kingdom against kingdom. Look at what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. That's the same people, but they fighting, bombing the hell out of each other. With drone strikes, all type of missile strikes. This is the house of Edom is divided. You got the EU now, and it speaks on the beast shall hate the whore. You got the NATO, these EU nations now looking and turning a side eye against Babylon the Great America. You got America against Canada, America against Greenland, and Denmark. This is all the collapse of Esau Edom's kingdom, and we can even see that within the U.S. Republican city against Democratic city. The Minneapolis is a template of what's further to come, and really that's going to bring sedition. Is going to bring martial law, or as Trump likes to call it, insurrection, and all these cities is going to get locked down. All it takes when you got people standing up and they not spending no money, they not showing up to work, they not bringing their kids to school. That's going to create, that's going to hit the economy. It's going to mess the economy up. And then, matter of fact, let's go back to that. That's going to hurt the economy even more, even if it is, like it says, 3.5% of people. That's just going to make things even more expensive out here. This is Isaiah 19. We just jumped down to verse 14 through 16. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. And the Lord's hitting this place up with plagues again. And as it says, there shall be no work for Egypt. People not showing up to work, whether they just be tired, they be vexed, or they has got laid off, or they corporation or business went out of business because of the economy, whatever it be. That's only going to hurt the economy more and more. And it says this place is, have the Lord had caused this place, Egypt, Babylon the Great America, modern day Egypt, to err in every work thereof, as a drunk staggereth in his vomit. This place is erring in every way, shape, or form. No matter what these guys do, I believe it's Jeremiah. It says that, we would have healed Babylon, but she may not be healed. Take balm for her. This place not being healed, man, it's getting worse, and it's happening rapidly. We're seeing this happen in real time. Okay, the spirit of division, uproars, and sedition is kicking off. I ain't never seen a year start this turned up, and it is going. We already know the first is going to come with protests, but then it's going to turn to riots and violence. And that's exactly what they want. So they can bring in their order out of chaos and pretty soon lead to that chippity chip spoken on in Revelation, the 13th chapter, the M to the OTB. This man wants to cause, he's caused division so he can come in with the solution, which is ultimately his goal is chipping everyone up for his digital, technocratic, totalitarian society, or as they would say, the New World Order. This is 2 Ezra 9, verse 5. 1 second. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. And this isn't the end of the world of earth. This is the end of an age. the age of the heathen nations and rulership, starting with Esau, Edom. This is his end. Going back to 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter. Let's pull that up. Verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob, the Israelites, is the beginning of it that followeth. And this man's world was built off bloodshed, violence, robbery, and that's how it's going to go out. But the beautiful thing about it is the Lord got Esau divided against himself, which is a clear telltale sign that his end is near. Nothing but division out here. And this is all ultimately this spirit of we walking out, we not spending no money. We tired of this. We are taking a stand against the powers that be is spoken on in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, which we know represents Jacob's trouble, martial law, and really shit hitting the fan out here in a societal collapse. 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, verse 14 through 19. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. In the modern day sword being these guns. There's no nation on the planet that has more guns than the United States. So you can see just how violent this is going to get. This is that civil war spoken about. For there shall be sedition among men in invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And that's what's happening. More and more we see this. The spirit of sedition is increasing. People in a state of uproar. And ultimately, this is going to turn violent. All it takes is the economy to further collapse or a perfect, what's the word? A perfect, false to the FLAG, some type of black swan event to really crack it off and shut down these cities. And what's going to turn people truly violent is a lack of food. People kill each other out here over Jordans, over a damn NFL game. What's going to happen when there's no food on the shelf? And all these storehouses, matter of fact, it speaks on that. 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, it speaks on that. Actually, the one I'm looking for is storehouses. Lack of food is going to turn this place super violent. Okay, this is 2nd Ezra 6, verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And that's what was 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, it's talking about too. People, neighbor against neighbor, spoiling their goods for a lack of bread. We also seen that happen with these ICE agents. They now, starting to go kick a door. What you think they going to be doing? They going to be taking people's goods, ransacking their food, any of your valuables, your women. They going to be taking that. And it ain't going to be no, oh, you didn't have a warrant. You didn't follow the Constitution. Trump and them don't give a fuck about that. Rude speech. They don't care. They going in. This man is heading full speed ahead with his agenda, which is ultimately to chippity chip everyone up. And he don't care about no damn Constitution anymore. He's sending the goons in, and it's gonna be neighbor against neighbor. The civilians against the police state, and that shows you the end of this place. But just another telltale sign that Esau, Edom, in his kingdom, in his Babylon the Great, his chief seat of power, is at a spirit of all-time high division. And this place don't got too much longer. All right. I hope that this was edifying. Shalom.